I do a lot of my building in public servers, and I do that because I like to check out other people's stuff while I'm kind of wasting time just teetering around building. A lot of times my focus is not really where it should be. I'm just sort of here and there, and it's nice to be in a public server where I can see other people's inventions. In this particular case, it's about a month ago I recorded this. I'm putting a forge in my castle, so I expanded the castle in one corner, and that alone was a lot of work. But now I'm putting a forge in, and because I need weapons and stuff, and who's going to make the weapons without a forge? So as I'm doing this, though, I'm realizing that this guy named Master Miles is over there on Green Team, and he's building a sign that says subscribe to Mick Plays Roblox. And I wasn't able to stay in the game long enough because I had to take off in real life to go do some stuff. But I got a glimpse of the sign, and I don't know if he ever actually finished it or not. But I thought it was so cool because very few people go to the extreme that he did. Now, the sign, it's not perfect, but I can read it. I can see what that is. So that was totally awesome. I just wanted to let him and everybody else out there who expresses their love for Build a Boat for Treasure and does it in creative ways that I appreciate it. And this dude was like appreciating me, and that's awesome. So all the love to you and everybody else who plays Build a Boat for Treasure. I love seeing fans. It's amazing. So thank you to Master Miles for creating such a cool intro to my newest video. This is my fortress. You guys probably seen this in previous video. I've added a few things to this thing. This is a little lantern sort of deal that I made in this build. That's new. There's another one right there. I've kind of passed them around a little bit. Little tray table for the king here. I expanded this entire center section of this building, made it a bit wider, and of course it's got the chandelier up there. I don't remember if that was in the last video or not. I just keep doing little things here and there. I also moved all the stairs around inside, so I put them over to one side. It provides a little bit more room for my next plan, which hasn't happened yet, but it will eventually, and when it does, I'll have room to do it. So, forge. I decided that my fortress needed a forge as well, so I built one in here. And this one I completed. Now the big castle I didn't really complete so much. I got started on it and I sort of decided how I was going to build it, and you'll notice that there's a little similarity between this one and that one that I was building, just because this is where I started. So little bellows in the back here sprays air into the bottom of the fire, and this is the handle to pump the bellows, and a little counterweight to help that out. These are the quench pools for the swords and stuff that the blacksmith might make, and of course the what's it called, an anvil? Yeah, always reminds me of Wile E. Coyote, right, with the anvil always dropping on somebody's head. There's some coal over here with a shovel in it. Grab the shovels from a different build. There's a broom to sweep up the coal mess, which of course it's really nice and clean now because somebody's been doing their job. And so anyway, I liked this forge. I liked the way this turned out. It looked pretty cool. Spent a little time on it. It's made for dual blacksmiths, so you can have two guys working in here at the same time making lots of swords and armor and such. And I liked this so much that when I was done with it, I started doing this kind of thing. I selected the entire thing like so, and just made sure I grabbed the entire forge region, and then I made sure that my vertical was right, and then pulled the entire thing up into the air, kind of like this. So then it moved the entire thing up, and then I cleared out everything that didn't need to be here. So I took all these things off, prepping to move this forge into my big castle, because hey, there's no sense in building it in both places. So I built it here and decided that it would be a good idea to just move it over into the other build. So I did this kind of thing here, and then had to put a block around it and prep it a little bit. Of course, I had to delete all of this stuff. There we go. That kind of thing, so you get stuff to fall away. And you just keep doing that until you've got an empty map. And then you save it as a separate build. And once you've got it saved as a separate build, now you can start like adding other things to it. Here's some new stuff I've been building recently. This one here doesn't need that block or that block or that block, and I think I'm going to leave that. Here's something you'll see in just a little bit. So this is a hanging plant that I did, and I started off by building like one little branch here and branching it off a little bit, and then I put some flowers on it, and then cloned it and moved it over to the opposite side. And then you just do like a wheel style thing. You just, I think it's rotate, 15 degrees or something like that, and just clone it and rotate it, clone and rotate. And then I had to move this one here. It was interfering with the handle, so I had to move it to the side a little bit. So you see there, they kind of intertwine right there on both sides. But it's okay, from a little distance. If you don't look too close, it looks all right. So this is the forge that's been pulled out of the fortress, and essentially I've got this chair on here, and that's all just attached after it was all separated from the build. And then it allows me to cake myself onto this chair and then go flying down into stage 1, so right down between the two waterfalls, just anywhere over these rocks here. You want to make sure you stay off to the side, of course, you don't get eaten up by the rocks. But then you can load whatever build you want to and then move it back into that build, which looks a little something like this. And once I got it in here, I decided to rotate it, and there it is positioned above the castle. Then I added a rain barrel to it with a little downspout thing, so I can catch the water coming in off of the roof. And I positioned the thing so that it's going to fit back into my new room. So I cleared the forge that I was working on. I cleared it out of here, and this will be my forge now that goes into this castle. Now these things, these are walls that I put up just to have a reference of what the edge of the room is, and you can extend that stuff up into the air. Doing it up here allows you to do a lot of stuff like selections. Like say I had to move the rain barrel, so I can just select the whole thing. I don't have to worry about snagging everything that's behind the rain barrel as I select it. So working up in the sky like this is really important. And once you're done, it's a very comfortable sort of thing to move it down into the regular build. Now, this is the doorway that I copied up from my new entrance that I made down here. So there's the new entrance to that room. So I copied the doorway up, and of course you saw I just deleted this stuff here. I copied up as well. These pink blocks that you can see flashing in there, those are just measurements, and you can see that I use the scaling tool, and you can measure this. So it's exactly 100 studs up from where it's going to end up being. Now everything here is anchored right now. So I can select this whole thing, and if I didn't have my jetpack selected, you can see it's all anchored, it's all collision on. Just so happens to not be any collision off stuff involved here. And this one here is just a side marker for that wall down there. You can see how it's flickering. It means you're right on the edge. And the same thing for all these other ones. And this one here, I don't know what its purpose was. Oh, that's just floor level. So that's probably 100 as well. Yeah, so it's exactly 100 studs off of the floor, and you can see it's flickering away there as well. So I can get rid of this and that one, this one. In fact, I can get rid of the floor because the floor is already down there. So I know that it's at the same exact level as everything else down there. So I can just delete the floor, and now I can move the entire forge down exactly 100 studs into place, and then it'll be anchored in position, and that will be my forge. Okay, there's that. I'm going to hit 100 on my move, and down we go. Cool, there we go. It's all in place, and I saw that my door is going to have this downspout in it, so I put that off to the side there. And anyway, that's my new forge for my castle. So yay, I have a forge in the castle. It looks like I got a little cleanup to do here. This was outside of the boundaries there that it shouldn't have been. So that's why I actually put these walls up so I can see stuff like that. But I missed a few little details here and there, so I'll have to clean those up in a little bit. I left this whole thing open. I'll put some guardrails around this perimeter here. Probably use, well, either I'll just use concrete or I'll use these rails here, and the water that gets collected there will come down and it'll get heated because this metal roof is going to be hot from the forge, and then this water that ends up in this rain barrel here will be hot water when it rains. And okay, it's not terribly well thought out, but I was putting a little bit of thought into it. So, also in the castle, you will notice there's the flower baskets that I did. And they add a little bit of color, a little splash of color to the main atrium entranceway of the castle here, whatever you call it. And I think they look pretty nice. It needed something else. It needed some color because it was a bit gray. And really, castles, you know, they were a source of pride, and they had to be fancy. That was one of their purposes, is to show dominance and power through flashiness, essentially, and power. You know, looking like a powerful building. So the forge is more functional. The flowers are pretty. I've put some carpets in different places throughout the castle. Here's one of the rooms that I did. Just put some little rugs down there. This is coal. Coal makes a really nice fabric. This is the regular fabric blocks, and you can see the difference there side by side. Coal makes nice looking clothing if you wanted to do like an armor suit or something like that. Bed sheets, it works actually really well for that. This was done sort of before I realized the obviousness of that. Not sure what else is new in the castle since the last time I did a video. I just keep doing little things here and there. And you know, one of the things I did notice is that while I was doing this, building the forge and moving it into the castle, and these flower pots here, they're made out of metal. I kept running out of metal blocks, so I'm going to do a little purchase here. You can see I'm at almost 2 million. Now, I'm not going to hit 2 million right now because I'm going to spend a bunch of it. So I'm going to do the yellow chests here because they have plastic, which I love plastic, and they have metal. 30% chance of metal. And I like the idea of just doing the chest. Just, I don't know why, just because it's fun, I guess. And I think you can do 1,000, but you can't do 1,001, so that's 15,000 gold. And yeah. Okay, I've done that a number of times now, and I still got gobs of gold left, so I'm just going to stop right there. That gets me enough metal and enough plastic to do what I want to do, and maybe I can get back up to 2 million. I've never actually hit 2 million in the game before, so I'm probably going to end up doing that at some point. Maybe now, I'll just keep pushing forwards. The other day, I added this chair right here to the castle, and that chair is there as a reference point for this thing. Okay, not really for this thing. This is my failure. This was a attempt to make it a dragon. I used the head from my beast vehicle, and then this body here. It looked too big. It kind of dwarfs the castle, and I didn't want that. I really wanted to have the dragon be additive, but not, you know, swamp the castle. The purpose wasn't the dragon. The dragon's there for decoration. So I wanted to make sure that it fit the right size. This is not the right size for this castle. So I did this one and decided that this one, although it's the right style, it gives more of a dragon look. And I like the way it's perched. I put it up here on this this front tower because I think it's better that it be looking down at the people who are kind of coming into the castle. So if you're coming in from the river at this vantage point, the dragon should be kind of looking at you. So I put it on here, and then I realized, you know, these wings are never going to work on that dragon. So again, I have a size problem, and I went too far the other direction now, trying to get the style down. So since I have the style now, I went bigger and came up with this. which I think looks much better, actually. This is the right size dragon. I finally got the talons done the other day, the claws there. The teeth, I had all the teeth loaded at one time. He had a really pretty smile, and it looked way too clean. It looked like he'd been to the dentist or something. They're still really pearly white. Maybe I'll ugly that up a little bit to make it, more dragon-esque. Put some blood dripping off of it or something like that. It'd be kind of neat to have a big blood drip all the way down to the ground, but he's not necessarily an evil dragon. He just sort of looks evil with those red eyes. The eyes, similar to my bat thing, I used this is the trophy, and that makes a nice round circle. Gives you these little spikes off to the side. Makes it look like he, I don't know, has glasses or something. If you turn him the other direction, you can make a frame. You can put glasses on him, but I'm probably not going to do that. The wings are from the Beast vehicle, and I don't know if you guys saw the Halloween vehicle I did, but here, check this out. There they are on my car. This is my Beast car from Halloween. This whole video on Hero Plays Roblox just dedicated to this vehicle, and yeah, it drives to the treasure. Its name is Beast on the license plate, and it's pretty cool. It has some suspension and such. Check it out if you want to. But I'm gonna move that dragon into my castle. Okay, so when you do a big move like this, you want to make sure that once you've got your chair in position, that you resave and reload, because if you've done anything like this with scaling, sometimes it doesn't bond correctly. Get rid of all that stuff, and then I'll save and reload, and I'll do the move. So to move something, you just get yourself seated, get rid of the jetpack, grab you a cake, stick it on the seat right like that so it bonds your avatar to the block. Now you don't need the seat on there anymore because you're going to have a seat in the build that you're going into, in my case the castle. And then I'm going to just unanchor the entire thing. Let's see, before I do that, I'm going to put a pink candy, sticking right on there. Maybe I'll put another one on the other side just for fun. I'll put a thruster on here, red thruster, right there behind me, centered like so. Good enough. Okay, now I'm going to unanchor the entire thing. Okay, now I can walk around with my dragon. Everything is bonded. It all looked good. Nothing fell apart. I didn't see any parts fly off. So, zip down to stage 1. Oh yeah, need the wings. Wings are helpful for this reason. There's a few things I endorse paying Robux for. The wings are one of them. But you only need one set of wings. Don't buy more. Alright, so once you're down here in a comfortable seated position, you can anchor. If you're in a public server, you should anchor something, preferably your jet, your thruster, because that can prevent anybody from coming along and clicking your thruster while you look away the other direction or something. And then you can load your big build. Alright, I think that was about 22 minutes in a private server with nobody else in here, nice and quiet. I wasn't even moving, and that translates to probably 25 minutes in a public server if anybody loads anything. So I got to unanchor that, and that'll allow me to start moving again. And I'm going to jump on that chair that I showed you earlier, and in order to do that, I'm gonna collision off all of this stuff. So actually, let me take that candy first so I can sit down there. I'm going to reselect all of that. And the reason I'm collisioning off is if I don't, then I can only approach the chair one direction. And well, shoot, I gotta get down there first anyway before I can reselect that stuff. Ooh, awesome! I almost hit the chair. Alright, so I'm going to perch up here on top, and I'm going to reselect that stuff, and then I can jump in the chair. I'm going to take that, turn that off, and get rid of this candy since I don't need that, and position myself so I can select all of that stuff. There's my big block up there. I'll explain that someday too. Let's see, there we go. So I'm going to uncollision all of that, and I'll jump into the chair this way, and this way it gives me the freedom to get in the chair any way I want to, because you can see if I had collision turned on, there would only be one way, and it's to approach it from the back of the tower and then fall over the edge of the tower and just fall into place perfectly. So there we go, it's in place. I'm going to go ahead and anchor that and then collision on, and now I can get rid of my chair and my wings and the cake, and I'm good. I want to get rid of this block here and resave that castle. My dragon is officially in the castle. It's part of it now. That's so awesome. Oh man, he looks good up there. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Oh, I don't know if I could be any happier with it. The more I look at it, the happier I am. I love the claws. They're not sharp, they're not perfect, but they're good. They're my style. It's just like minimum, but good enough to tell what it is, you know? Oh, that was so awesome. Oh my goodness. This little block here, I'm going to put one of those flowers, one of these things here. I'm going to put one on this side, and I think I'm going to put one on that side. Make it nice and even. That would be flowers at the entrance. I think that'll look good too. Oh, the dragon. Oh, the dragon's awesome. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, come on in. It's a dragon. That's, oh, I'm so tickled now. All right, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you like that. Please click that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Tell all your friends and family, of course, and everyone at school. Email everyone in your inbox or in your contacts list. Tell them all to subscribe to Mick Plays Roblox, and you know, that'd be totally awesome. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye bye.